Board. So tonight's topic is the Lions portal for club members. If this presentation goes halfway smoothly, I anticipate posting it up on YouTube. I've posted a lot of the training sessions on YouTube, and you're welcome to them. It's free of charge, so why not? You go onto YouTube, search by my name, and you'll find a plethora of different topics that have been discussed over the past few years. So let's see what sort of damage we can do. The first of all, I want to talk about the training schedule. Most of you probably already know this, so I may be preaching to the choir, but I do want to let you know that the training schedule is always posted on the MD19 website. In this location, it's on the left side of the homepage, and you can access it anytime. It is current. Between me and JD Neller, we try to keep things current on that. So that's where it can always be located. On the agenda tonight, a couple of things of which we need to be aware, caveats and references. We're going to be talking about getting into the portal and then primary navigation. I'm going to be talking about your records, member records, and service records that your club has been accomplishing. Talk about the Lions Learning Center, and examine some of the data that we can view internationally, locally through internationally. It's really kind of interesting what's available out there. And then, of course, we've got the wrap up and the Q&A at the end. So let me get into the caveats. As a practice, I don't provide exact links to exact locations for my references. I do this for a good reason, not because I'm lazy. Well, maybe there's a touch of that. But the other reason is that you should be comfortable, you should be understanding, you should know how to navigate the Lions International website, the MD19 website, to find the stuff that you need to find. You should be able to do that. And if you have someone continuously handing you on a silver platter all of the little things that you need, then that means you're never going to learn it on your own. So I'm going to not specifically give you URLs. I'm not going to give you specific locations as to where you can find stuff, because you really should. You should be able to find it yourself. Actually, it's not that difficult. I will throw in a point that the Lions International website and the MD19 website are laid out completely differently. So other than the word Lions and the logos and so forth, don't expect to find a lot of identical stuff going on in there. Also be aware, I don't know it all. I know that's hard to believe, but it's actually true. I don't know it all. And then come to aggravate that particular little problem is the fact that occasionally the programmers there at Lions International that control the Lion portal, occasionally they might add or modify some stuff that is not discussed in here. Expect that to happen. They're still working it. They're still working out some of the kinks, and they are adding stuff. I have actually seen several items that they have added since the initial rollout. So expect to see additional stuff, even though you may be comfortable and know where to find stuff. You may find some additional tools in there as you do your work. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, I just talked about that, didn't I? And generally, when it comes to editing information in the portal, this is restricted generally to your Lions Club president, secretary, and administrator. Those are the three primary roles that where those folks are allowed to make modifications, add, subtract, modify, etc. So while you'll be able to see your information, you won't be able to change your information. You have to go through typically your club secretary to accomplish that. Even then, there are some items that the club secretary and president and administrator cannot change. For instance, your date of birth. Yeah, once it's entered into Lions International, if there was a mistake made, then your secretary has to go through Lions International, the support folks, to get that changed. Please don't ask me why. I don't know when it comes to stuff like that. So expect those little things to come into play. So you'll be working with your club secretary or president or administrator in order to change some information. I will note one other thing regarding your date of birth that is on the records there. There was a time several years back where a club secretary could enter a new member into the database without specifically putting in the new member's date of birth. So that would be left blank. And then when it was recorded, when it was actually accepted into the database administrators figured we got to put something in there. So they put in the default date of the 1st of January, 1900. If you look at your records and your record reflect that you were born on the 1st of January, 1900, either you are very, very old, and I'm proud of you for being around for so long and for being able to work the computer, good for you. Or if that happens to be incorrect, you need to contact your club secretary. Several years ago, that default was changed to the 1st of January, 1917. Yes, an echo of our founding. So if you find that your date of birth is incorrect, work with your club secretary. He or she in turn can work with Lions International to get that changed. Other caveats. Oh, some of my screenshots are taken from different training videos and PowerPoints. Why? Because I need to protect the privacy of some of my fellow members. So I've taken some generic screenshots. Yeah, expect to see a couple of those as we walk through the material. Also understand, this is my first attempt at this. I know I have done a previous session on the Lions portal, but that was designed for the club presidents and secretaries. This is designed for the general members, for anybody to be able to go in and see what's available there. So this is my first attempt at this particular one. I do anticipate that I'm going to be making some changes after the fact, but you know, that's where I'm at. I am recording it, so again, it will be on YouTube for you to see at any time. I expect this session will last actually less than an hour and a half, but I put an hour and a half up there just to make sure. And last but not last, but please remind me to load this presentation into the chat so that you can download it for your own use. I have no problem with you utilizing my PowerPoints. I have no problem with that at all. Take them, modify them for your particular needs, and use them as you wish, by all means. And last but not least, if we could, let's save our questions for the end. So far, so good. Let's talk a little bit about the references. Generally, one of the big reference that I'm going to be going back and forth is the Lions International webpage. Found in the Lions International webpage is the member portal. In order for you to get into the portal, you got to go to the Lions International webpage first. And I'll show you how to get there. Also available is additional training in the Lions Learning Center. This is part of the portal, and I'll show you how to get there. But this training is free of charge, and the training has a wide variety of topics. No matter what your interest, there's some good stuff in there, and I highly recommend it. Another one I highly recommend is Lions University. Again, this is free training. And the Lions University actually has programs for advancement, if you will. And that is, you can take a series of courses and obtain a bachelor's degree recognized by Lions University. And you can go further and go for a master's degree. And further yet, you can go for a doctorate recognized by Lions University. Notice I said recognized by Lions University. That's because, at least not yet, no other universities recognize these degrees that are bestowed upon the recipients. Harvard just is adamant about it, and I just don't understand why. I mentioned YouTube earlier. Yes, I have a bunch of videos there on YouTube. I'm not the only one posting this stuff up on YouTube. There are a lot of people, literally from around the world, that are posting information, training sessions, how-tos on YouTube for Lions topics, again, far and wide, again, free of charge. I encourage you to look up, connect onto YouTube and do a search for Lions. When you do the initial search for Lions Club, you will find references to the Detroit Lions. Ignore those, cycle past them. You'll find a whole bunch of stuff for Lions clubs. Mention briefly about Facebook. Facebook is not the only online social media source that you can use. I am referencing Facebook because I am most familiar with Facebook. Let me be a little more exact. I don't know Instagram. I don't know X. I don't know all these other social media things. So I can talk knowledgeably about Facebook. There's a whole bunch of information on Facebook. There are what are called groups and pages. A couple of groups for you to consider, for you to look up. I strongly recommend you do this. One is called the Lion Portal Forum, and the conversations are information restricted to information regarding the portal. That's all that they do there. The other one that I highly recommend is the Global Lions Forum. And this one is for Lions, literally from around the world. And the idea is to exchange information. In both of these forums, you will not be allowed to post information such as happy birthday or congratulations to Governor such and such for something, et cetera, et cetera. All that fluff is not allowed. What they're looking for, what they want to encourage is for people to ask questions and find information that they need. By the way, one more item regarding the Global Lions Forum. They've got over 22,000 participants, again, from around the world. Navigating to the portal. So let's talk about how we can get there. And of course, we start this at lionsclubs.org in your favorite browser. And it does not matter what browser you use, they will all work very nicely. On the phones is a little bit of different matter. iPhones are less friendly to what we're about to explore. Androids are a little more friendly, but they're not complete. And one of the biggest problems is there's a small amount of real estate in that little bitty screen. So yeah, if you want to get the full effect, of course, working from a PC or a tablet is a better idea. Looking at initially the lionsclubs.org, at the top, you will find these pieces of information. And the one thing that I want to draw your attention to is this right here. This is where you log into the member Lion portal. Now understand, in order to do so, you need a username and password. If you've already got that established with the old MyLCI and MyLion applications, they have ported over to the new Lion portal without any difficulty. So your username, your number, and your password should still work. Should. It wasn't 100%. Nothing ever is. If you do not have an account, if you've never previously been on the Lion portal, or you have never been, you've never done anything with MyLCI or MyLion, then you need only 2 items of information to establish an account. When you click on Don't Have an Account, you'll be asked for your member number. Now, most Lions do not know what their member number is. I don't know what I have to look it up every time. But that's okay, because your club's secretary has your member number. You utilize your member number, you utilize a valid email address, and then you establish a password and you're on your way. So it's not really difficult, and literally you can get this done in under a minute if you've never had an account before. Once you have an account and once you've logged in successfully, this is the initial screen that you'll see when you log onto the Lion portal. And the folks at Microsoft taught the computing world, the technology world, something very important that is followed here, and that is there's always more than one way to do the same thing. For instance, if you wanted to look up your membership information, you can easily find it here, or you can open up this menu and get to the same spot. So they take this principle, they take this practice, and they've applied it here. There's more than one way to get to where you need to go. So this is what the initial splash screen looks like. If for any reason you cannot find something, or something is broken, or something is missing, then I strongly suggest that you utilize this little piece of information right here, send them an email, give them a call. Yes, you'll probably have to talk to a recording, but let them know something is amiss. And unless it's, I don't know how to say this nicely. Unless it's something that is minor and inconsequential, or something that is the answer should be directly there in front of you, yeah, they're probably not going to respond. I've had that happen to me. On the other hand, I have had some problems where I've sent them an email and they did respond back and said, yes, we're working on it, and they got it fixed. So it's not 100%. Yeah, and I'm not sure really of that criteria of what they ignore and what they do not, but there it is. So utilize that piece of information as you need. There's another piece of information before you go wandering around here within the portal, and that is this little portion right here, training videos. If you click on that button, it will actually take you to YouTube. And it'll take you to the YouTube page produced by Lions International with training videos for the portal. By all means, try it. The worst that will happen is that you'll waste some time looking at a video that you already know about, conveying information that you already know. Training videos are available, again, free of charge. The menu at the top, whenever you see that little down pointing arrow, whenever you see that, that indicates that if you click on that, it's going to present a menu to you. So I've clicked on the More menu, and here we have that repetition. You may recall, as I go backwards, you may recall on the left side, the large modules, the large icons on the left, My Membership, then My Club, then My CA, and My Association. Well, they've got much the same thing with a couple of other items in here. Again, there's more than one way to accomplish the same thing. So returning back over here, if we want to look at information regarding our records, regarding us personally, of course, this is the primary way that you would want to get there. It's not the only way, but it's the primary method by which you would get there. And when you click on that, it opens up this piece of information. Understand, this is from a database. And all the information in here, of course, was plugged in by typically your club secretary. And notice up here that we've got two buttons here, My Personal Detail and the members that you've sponsored. If you click on either one of those, it's going to present you with other information. It'll replace what you see here with other information, and I'll show you that here in a second. Pardon me. Oh, boy, I had a good dinner. So I will point out that it's got the primary information up here at the very top, including your member ID number right up here, and your primary email address. Yes, you can have more than one, as well as your phone number. And again, you can have more than one. And from there, of course, it goes into the details, including, I like it. They got things like nicknames that the secretary can plug in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, as well as your email address and a map to get to your house. Now, if you don't know how to get to your house, this is a handy way to find out. But I would trust that you know how to get to your house. Back over here, I do want to point out this little guy right here, because if you click on that little icon, it opens up a menu My settings. And if you click on my settings, now this is the personal information. Notice up here at the top left, it says personal information. I'm going to go back a few slides, and that personal details, my personal details right here. If you click on that, it presents you with the same information. So again, it's repetitive, a little bit repetitive of what we previously saw on the initial screen, which is cool. But that's not all that's to it. There are other things that you may want to consider as well, including information regarding your club. So if you click on information regarding your club, you're going to see the primary information regarding your club. And notice over here on the left side, this information is information about your fellow club members. I should also point out, back up here at the left, club details, club service activities. Yes, you can see all these service activities that your club has been participating in, and club financial details. And you might initially think, shouldn't that be restricted to the club treasurer? No. The club treasurer represents you on the financial stuff, and you have a right to know about the financial details regarding your club. So there it is, and it's available to you. I will also point out over here on the far right side, member actions, which include the possibility of looking at your club officers, not just all your membership, but the club officers. And it's got club actions, club officers again over here, and sponsored clubs, the clubs that your club has sponsored. Now, if you click over here in the club service activities, this is what you get. So you can look at your service activities for your club, and it will show you the latest ones first. And the third column, that field right there, contains a link where you can actually see the details of that particular activity that was conducted that day. But there's actually two ways to get here. This is one way. The other way is from this method right here. And I'll talk about a little bit about that. I'll talk about that a little later on. Want to return back over to the club information, and that includes the club statements. Again, this is financial stuff, and if you click on that, that's what it prints out. Now, because I am the club secretary, for me, for our club, this little tool right here is available for me to use to opt in or opt out of paper statements. And for most users, you would not see that. You don't have that choice for opting in or out, because that's information that goes to the club treasurer. But of course, you can see what's going on with regards to your club's financial details regarding dues, regarding any debts to Lions International, not to MD19. This is just Lions International. What else have we got here? The edit. That's a incorrect statement. Edit via the blue link. You cannot edit the contents of that. You as the user, club secretary, club president, club administrator can edit, but of course you can always use it. You can also track down what you're looking for by sorting in a different manner. The end date or the start date, sure, either one of those. Incomplete reports or not completed reports. Record type, service projects. There are other types of information that would go in here, including fundraisers and donations. So you can actually sort. If you find yourself looking at a great big long list, there's different ways that you can track it down. I want to talk about the club financial details. I know it really doesn't provide a whole lot of details, but there it is. Yeah. So that's that menu across the top with regards to your club, and returning back over here, member actions. If you move over to the right to club actions, this is what you get. You get this great big long list of buttons. And there are certain ones that that can be very, very useful for you. I will point out that right here, viewing reports. Oh yeah. If you click on view reports right here, it will open up a separate dialog box, keep you on the same page, but a separate dialog box. And from that dialog box, you can select a report for viewing, not for editing, but for viewing, and you can print it off if you want. One of the reports that you may want to consider printing off is a club roster. Yeah, gee, what a great idea. For sponsoring a new club, this is where you can actually create the new club application. The button above that is for creating a club branch. I actually think for the users, for the members that is not a club officer, I suspect that those three bottom buttons, create a club branch, club branch, create new application, and edit club details. I suspect you will actually not be able to see those, but I use the same screenshot. Back over here to the Lion portal. Understand that this right here brings up some familiar territory because it opens up a menu. I know there's only one item in the menu. I know. And from here, again, you can get to the information that you need to see. I've never tried the link over here on the created by, because as club secretary, for my club, I'm the one that plugs in all this information anyhow. So that's kind of useless to me. But if it's available to you, click on it, see what happens, see what comes up. Why not? I want to talk about the Learning Center, Lions Learning Center, LLC. If you click on this, it opens in a separate tab within your browser, meaning that what you see here will still remain there, but within a tab within your browser, the tabs up at the top, it will create a new tab just to the right of the current, and it will present you with this information right here. Now, there are three items in this initial screen: the online training, the international institutes, and local institutes and training. I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. Local institutes and trainings. Your district GLT, your district global leadership team, your district GLT can actually add information in here for everyone within the district to be able to see and obtain information on training sessions that are coming up. Understand, I don't have the authority for my district to do this because I am not the GLT. So I can't do that. But it can be done, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And there's actually separate instructions. Where did I see those separate instructions? I saw some separate instructions somewhere for how a GLT can add that information in there, and I don't remember where it is. Now, it was on the Lions International webpage for the GLT toolbox. That's where I found that information. But that's neither here nor there. Up above that is the International Institutes. And this is talking about institutes training sessions that Lions International puts on. There are several different institutes, and we see a couple of them right there: faculty development and LCIP. Whenever Lions International puts on an institute, they invite people to attend, of course. And the idea is you if you can find your way there via plane or car or whatever, if you can find your way there and kick in, and I think it's $125, don't quote me, then that means that Lions International, if you're accepted, Lions International will pay for your food, will pay for your hotel, and actually pay for your food and hotel. I think that's it. Yeah. And, oh, and of course, provide all the training material that you need. Typically, most international institutes are 3 days long, and each of them have certain criteria for attendance. If you track any one of these down and you look at the qualifications, if you're qualified and you're interested, there's a process you go through to be accepted. This is where you can find information available for the international institutes, and it's always current. It's always current. So now, yes, I grabbed this screenshot before the 27th of September here. I grabbed that screenshot beforehand. But if I go back in there now, I'm not going to find that, but I will find the LCIP program. Up above that, this is where most folks actually do their activity within the Lions Learning Center. And if you click on that Go button on the right, it then brings you to this. Now, the initial screen, of course, especially if it's the first time you've been there, is going to be empty. So if you click on Content Library, then it's going to start showing you a whole bunch of training sessions that are available for you to use. These are pre-recorded, but they are interactive. In other words, you actually have to answer questions. You have to work with the program in order to complete the training. Again, there is a wide number of courses in here. It goes on forever. But I would point out that there's a way for you to search for that. It's got a search bar up there at the top. And although I haven't highlighted it here, on the left side, right here, something called Learning Paths. So say, for instance, you're interested, you're thinking about, maybe you want to be a club secretary next year. You can actually work through what is called the Learning Path for Club Secretaries, and they will suggest a series of courses, and I think it's 4 different courses. Again, don't quote me. 4 different courses that you can walk through, and that will help you prepare to be club secretary. The courses are not graded. They're recorded as completed or not completed. That's all. It is not an absolute requirement that you complete any of these courses for any of the positions that you may be considering. It's highly recommended. Understand, if you take these courses, especially for club officers, understand that they're very, very generic because the information is the same throughout the world. Information regarding your particular club, your particular district, your particular multiple district, of course, is going to vary. So therefore, they haven't got all that information in there. And you need to contact your district or multiple district GLT to get the training that you need for that's applicable for us locally. By the way, the learning paths, yes, club secretary, president, treasurer, zone chair, and district governors. For upcoming district governors, vice district governors, not only is there a learning path, but there is also sort of a guide that is assigned to help your upcoming district governors to make sure that they are properly trained before they take office. As second vice governor and as first governor, there is some training that goes on beforehand, and it goes beyond what we see there with the learning paths, but it includes some stuff there in learning paths as well. Lions Learning Center, free of charge. For me, I like to point that out. Next, I want to talk about this: reports and insights. And you'll find much the same information over here with my association and my CA. In case you're kind of wondering what CA stands for, CA stands for Constitutional Area. In the United States, we are Constitutional Area 1. Canada is Constitutional Area 2. So you can track information down by your constitutional area and go into details, Or you can take a higher view. My association is from international, from the international view, a whole bunch of information. And again, you can work through this. Allow me to show you. Whether you utilize the MyCA or use My Association, or you go up here to the top and you click on Reports and Insights, it's going to suggest several different items in here. The dashboard, insights for district governor goals, district goals, not district governor goals, district goals, insights learn. In other words, train you how to navigate and find information within here. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicators. Yeah, I know. It's a technical term, and database analysts use this phrase, this KPI all the time. But there's some very, very interesting information that you can dig out on that. And membership reports. Membership reports are stats month by month for your multiple district, your zone, your club, month by month, going back 10 years. Yeah. Now, this is every club that we have in the world. So you have to learn how to navigate around to find multiple district 19, and then within multiple district 19, your particular district, and then within your particular district, your particular club. You got to work your way down and step into it. But yeah, you can actually dig into and find membership reports dating back 10 years. Now, the membership reports will not show you names. It's only numbers. So be aware. Interesting stuff in there. It really is. I want to talk briefly about the membership. Initially, up at the top, we have those 5 items. And if I click on membership, it's going to show me total membership by month of the current year. And this is international. Now, this screenshot is about a month old. And so the numbers that we see on the right side, of course, have changed. But no, and of course, it's got that graph for prior year and current year. But notice underneath there, it says Africa, multiple district 403, district 403A1, and then the individual clubs within that district. Now, notice the little boxes just to the left of each of those. Those little boxes over here are check boxes where you can turn on or turn off. No, those are collapse boxes that you can collapse so that if you don't need to see Africa's information, you can collapse that and you can see a different constitutional area. Or you can utilize this information over here on the left side, same idea, just displaying the information in a different manner. So you select your constitutional area, select your multiple district, and then select your district, and you can look at the membership stats for your individual district. Now, again, it's the membership reports that give you the actual details club by club. This is not bad. I want to also show you the district goals. And notice what I've got numbered up here. Across the top, I've got constitutional area. You assign the constitutional area here, and I've selected constitutional area 1. I'm skipping over GET, and for me, it's a bit repetitive to do this for GET, but it is useful for the GET leaders. And so we're not going to get into that. Instead, what we're going to do is work with something that's a little more understandable. So first, you isolate by constitutional area, then you isolate by multiple district, and then within the multiple district, it presents a list for you. I've selected my district, District 19N, and it shows me that the district achieving all goals, I've got only one district here, membership net gain. Now, this is, again, about 3 weeks old, I guess it is. And notice that the blue here indicates current fiscal year. So we're down. The dark blue indicates the goal. So we're supposed to be up right now, and we're not there. And then, of course, the gray is the prior fiscal year. Mission 1.5 is the first element, the purple. Mission 1.5 goal. And in case you're not familiar, the idea of Mission 1.5 is to increase our membership from 1.4 million to 1.5 million by the end of June 2027. That's the goal. And in order to accomplish that, every district has got to help, and we do that by increasing our membership district by district. So this talks about membership net gain, new members. So we've got, again, a few weeks old, 239 members, but we're still down because we lost more than we gained. New clubs, we've actually got 2 new clubs in our district, and we got probably at least 1 more coming. Yeah. And down here, club reporting service. These are the club's reporting service, not the actual service information itself. Zone chairs trained, club officers trained, and district fundraising accomplishments. I want to talk briefly about club reporting service. The club reporting service is easy to do. I know you're not the club secretary, so you're not going to be able to do that. But it is easy to do. Yes, you sort of fill in the blank, you click on certain check boxes, and you've recorded. It's not really difficult. You can also add photographs for your service efforts and add that to the collection as well. Zone chairs trained. Again, the zone chairs had the opportunity to go through the Lions Learning Center, and with the zone chair path, get those done. Additionally, in the district and multiple district, and let me say multiple district because not every district does it. In the multiple district, we have zone chair training available for upcoming zone chairs. Same is true with club officers. I provide training for club officer. Sharon Sykes does also. And also at the MD level, they also have club officer training available. I think they're going to have some of that available at the MD convention, but don't quote me. Yeah. Pardon me for just a second. Understand that you can dig into this stuff. You can find a lot of detailed information, but understand it is coming from Lions International to you to see. You cannot change that stuff back to Lions International. If there's any changes that can be done, it's done by the club's secretary, president, or administrator. So there's nothing wrong with you poking around and looking, including looking at information regarding a completely different district on the other side of the country, or over in Europe, or whatever. You can actually look up details regarding that district and details regarding clubs. It's read only, if you will. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not improper for you to do so. It's available for everyone to see. So don't hesitate. I do encourage people go wandering through here. Look at the different district goals. Look at the KPI metrics. Look at the membership reports, service activities, Mission 1.5. See how we're doing on Mission 1.5, etc. See how we're doing with LCIF goals. Absolutely nothing wrong with this stuff. It gives you an idea of what's happening locally as well as internationally. So yes, please look it up. And there's some great information going on in there. Wrapping up, there are areas of the portal that we did not explore tonight. And one of the big reasons that I did not do a whole lot of detail is that I did not want to put you to sleep. For some folks, for most folks, a lot of those details are not of interest to them. They are of interest to me, but that doesn't mean they're of interest to you. So again, it doesn't hurt for you to open it up and go looking for yourself. It's great stuff. So don't hesitate to do so. I like to say that curiosity is a great attribute. Be curious. Oh, I also can provide to you, let me see if I can find my pen, my mouse. I can provide to you, I will provide to you the PowerPoint that I'm using right now. pardon me for just a second. Let me get in here where I need to get in here. And portal and for members. All right, I'm loading into the chat the PowerPoint that I've used tonight. For those of you, if you look at the bottom of your Zoom window, there's a little button to the left of the green share button that is labeled chat. Click on that and it'll open up a little box in the middle of your screen. And in that box, there's an object that says Lion Portal for Members V1. You click on that, and then it'll show a little button at the top right of that label, a little button with a down pointing arrow. Click on that, it'll download to your computer, and you can use it as you wish. Free of charge. Come on. Questions? I'd like to open it up just to see what sort of questions we've got going on in here. And you've all been very patient and quiet, and you've kept your microphones turned off, and I appreciate that. But let's open it up for questions. Who's got some thoughts or ideas that you'd like to share? I can't believe that Melina hasn't got any questions. That doesn't make any sense. Barb, did you have a question?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I know in the old My Lion, I used to be able to print up attendance like sheets of the members. Is there any, I haven't found anything in the new Lions portal, and I was wondering if there's something like that, because that helps me, you know, write down who came to the meetings, and when I post my hours, the service hours, I'm able to post those, you know, because I've taken attendance at all the meetings.
Right. I don't know if there is a way that you can report that in the Lions portal. I do know that the form is still available for download for you to print or work off the computer for attendance records for yourself. I'm not sure that there's a way to upload that. And I say that because, and I'm sort of speculating here, but I say that because Lions International is really not interested as to who attended what meeting. You know, it may be good for your records, for the club records, but International really has no use for that information. Additionally, if they were to ask for that information, they would be inundated with all of this data for which they have no use. So,
Well, I post the meetings on for service hours because I think it's important.
it is, but that's not attendance record.
Yeah, I know, but that's how it makes it easier for me to report that, because when I ask for service hours, half the time I don't get it. And so thank God I have the attendance records so that I could go by that.
Yeah.
And nowadays I just go through the attendance and after the meeting post it.
Yeah. Yeah. In the club secretary toolbox, you will find the downloadable PDF that you can use either online on the computer or do it on paper. But I don't think there's a way to send that information up to Lions International.
Yeah, I don't care to send it. I just want it. Because see, this is what I do.
Oh my God. She's good. I would venture a guess, and this is strictly guess, again, speculation on my part. I would venture a guess that very few secretaries actually do that anymore. That's my thought. Good for you, Barb. You're on top of everything.
Hi.
Good for you. Other questions? Mark, you got your mic turned on?
Yeah, well, I initially had problems getting in, couldn't get access, so I couldn't enter in any of our reports, any of our activities. And I finally worked it out with the support people, and I believe it was because I'm in as both the secretary and the LCIF coordinator, and it was associating my my access rights with my LCIF coordinator. Maybe because it's in alphabetical order, I don't know, instead of secretary. So when I complained about that, support finally looked at it and they didn't tell me that they fixed it, that that was the problem, but the next time I checked in, it worked.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think that's what the problem was.
Yeah. I had
Defaulting the LCIF coordinator.
yep. I had a similar situation, and it was because there was a part of the one of the many reports that I could not get access to that I needed as secretary. I don't remember what it was, and I sent the email up, complaining, rah, rah, rah. And of course I'm sure they looked at that and said, Al who? And maybe threw it away. So I sent it a second time, and I guess about a week or 10 days later, I was suddenly able to get access to that report. So I ran into something very similar. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They fixed it, but they didn't tell me.
Now, some of the reports that, we used to be able to save to your computer as a PDF or print it out as a PDF. I didn't see that capability now.
You can.
Okay.
It's and the button is labeled export.
I saw where it could export as an Excel, but is
Right.
there an export as PDF also?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, one of your choices is Excel for details, and the other is summarize, I think they call it, and that's the PDF form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Melina, can't hear you. There you are.
Okay. About a couple of months ago, I had a member from another club who applied to become an associate member into our club. So when I went to enter her information into LCI, I couldn't find the screen to do that entry. So I went to the support help, and it took about 3 weeks before I heard a response. And they entered the information themselves. And so, but they never told me how they did it. And so then when I went in to check our roster, our club consists of 59 members. And when I saw that the person was entered as the associate member, it jumped our membership from 59 to 60. And so I questioned that and back to the support, and I haven't heard a response to that date, because my concern was when LCI sends out their billing,
Yeah.
are we going to be billed for our 59 members in our own club, or are they going to bill us for the 60th person?
And Lions International standard is that any member can be a member of only one club, a regular member. When it comes to associate member, that's a different. Yeah, I would be concerned about that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, keep pressing them on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't have a good answer for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Other questions, ideas? Edmund's sitting there nice and quiet and not saying a thing. I'm sure his mind is racing with all sorts of ideas.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, actually, I'm on vacation. I'm in Hong Kong right now. Yeah.
Folks, this is dedication for you right there. Well, congratulations. Now, Edmund, it must be what at probably about 7:00 a.m.
No, actually, it's Thai is good. It's 10:55 in the morning.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Thai is
that's
good, yeah.
yeah, that's not difficult for you. Yeah. Good. Well, congratulations for connecting in. That's great stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Thoughts, ideas, questions? No? No? Okay. Okay, cool. So any other thoughts or questions that you may have? Okay, if something comes up at a later time, by all means, contact Susan Niller. She knows everything. Or failing that, you've got my email address there on the screen in front of you. Don't hesitate to send me a note, send me a question. If I don't know, I know how to contact Susan. So, it's cool. All right, I'm gonna stop the share. Cool. And if there's no other questions, I want to thank you all for connecting in this evening. I do appreciate your time, and I hope that I've conveyed some information that you can use. And in the words of past District Governor Sharon Sykes, let's go forward and do great things. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Al.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.